Hello and welcome to Roleplay Rejects, where we play new and unusual tabletop role-playing games. In Side Quest, we're taking a break from our longer stories to play just a few sessions of some very unique role-playing games out there. So sit back and enjoy.
Banter.
Welcome to Wine About It.
Oh,
Dude, we found the sign.
What happened?
you found the sign?
Yeah,
Oh, I
we-
remembered something. Sorry.
What?
I want to...
Because
It's like a lot bigger than I remember. it
Yeah, I
being.
know. Everybody
That's
was
what
like,
she
"Oh, it's a
said.
small sign," and I was like, "No, it's like kind of big."
That's fucking huge. bro.
Yeah,
I think it's because we're used to seeing stickers.
yeah.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
still.
That seems
So
like
for
Yeah.
those of you who
It's
don't
actually
know
smaller
the lore,
than I remember it being.
we
That's
had
bad.
this really cool sign that Damien's dad made for us. It's beautiful. It's of the podcast logo. It's like wood and resin.
And resin.
Yeah, it's so cool. And we
He
took
made
it.
the wood piece out of like a custom CNC machine that he built himself.
His dad's a nerd.
Yeah, but like in
No
the
offense.
very bestest of ways. So then we were like, man, this sign is so cool. You know, it'd be great is if we took it to the Nova Open
Yeah.
in 2023
Yeah.
to show, hello, everyone. We are Roleplay Rejects. Come play games with us, right?
So
Mhm,
we
mhm.
did that.
We did
almost
do
a year
that.
ago now.
Uh-huh.
About 2 weeks shy of a year ago now.
And we've been helping a little bit here and there when we can with like getting Nova ready. And we were doing that this morning and we finally found our sign again because it was packed away and the Nova staff was like, no, we know for a fact it's here. It's just where is the mystery because they have a bunch of different like storage areas and they use a lot of these like rolly carts and they're kind of tall and you know they try to have like a pretty efficient way of bringing things in and out for the convention so everything's on these carts and literally as we were leaving to come here to record we saw the sign
Yeah.
and we were like oh my gosh
I rolled the card out. I did not see it. And then Misty's like, that's our sign. And I was like,
yeah, Joseph and I were both
Where?
like, huh?
well
because it was
we're-
laying
we left
flat
it-
on the shelf.
yeah
We left it last. We forgot it last.
yeah
year.
so
We did.
we totally forgot
on
it
us,
we
but-
meant to bring it back with us and we didn't
Damien's dad, if you're listening and you didn't know this,
Our bad.
sorry. We got it back.
we knew
did.
we knew where it was just not where it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was safe. But the only reason I think I saw it is because I have the short debuff. And so I never look up. But when I do, I see things.
See everything.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah, it's a whole new world. And so I happened to have looked up in that moment and I was like, wait a minute.
That's the
That's
sign.
the sign. Yeah.
Yeah. Because at my eye height, it was a straight line of
Mhm.
wood. And I was just like,
Oh.
But at my eye height, it was our little like circle, not circle shape for the logo.
that's wild.
So-
I didn't realize that's why you saw it. And I didn't.
Yeah.
I have bad eyes.
I thought I was
Yeah, that's
just
true.
not perceptive today. I thought I
No.
rolled a nat one or something.
No, it's literally because I happened to look up, which I never do.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's exciting news. We now have our sign back, and we won't leave it at Nova Open
In 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. When you're listening to this, it will be
After.
this next.
It'll be
Week,
this
right,
next
yeah.
week.
Oh, next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally set a calendar reminder for on the Sunday at like 9 in the morning. Grab the fucking sign.
Yeah.
Literally, the calendar notification says grab.
I know.
the
I saw it.
fucking sign.
I saw it
Yeah.
on
I
my
added all
wall.
of you
Yeah, I
because
know.
we're
Thank
not,
you.
We're not.
We're not losing it this year.
Because what I mean, it was like 3 or 4 times that we went over to like help them organize, and we just couldn't
Yeah.
find
Never
it.
saw it. Yeah.
Well, it was on one of those racks, and then the rack was like
Wrapped.
Saran wrap.
saran wrapped,
Mm.
right? So stuff wouldn't fall off of it.
And there was stuff on top of it.
And there was a
Mhm.
box on top of it.
Oh yeah. No,
And
I
so,
Yeah.
like,
remember.
and especially at our height, we would not have seen it.
Weird flex.
Yeah.
The- no.
You didn't see it either because you're at the same height.
Yeah.
Ew.
But yeah, dude.
Honestly, basically, it's not that big of a difference. You probably still wouldn't have been able to see it as well as
No,
Misty.
I'm actually 3-1.
Actually, we're all
He's a
different heights.
gnome.
We go up, we go down by a foot each time.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can guess the order.
It was so cool though. I was like, oh man.
Thank
Our
you
sign.
for finding it.
Yeah, I'm so glad you saw it.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is again, like we knew where it was.
Yeah,
It's just
we would have found it.
Mhm.
which specific cart we did not know. And had we not gotten it this week, we would have found it at Nova Open anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
They
because
would have
all of the
unpacked
carts get
everything.
unpacked
Yeah.
fully. So it was just kind of funny because we were like literally on our on our way out. Sorry, I was typing name because I'm trying to figure out a name for my character. On our way out, and there was surprise.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of Nova,
You should go.
Oh yeah,
you guys should totally go at some point. It's super fun. It's a good time. Everybody there is cool.
Except
it's-
that one guy. I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
You know exactly who you are.
Oof.
But like it's just the best to be like surrounded by nerds
Mm-hmm.
that enjoy stuff that you enjoy.
Yeah, I
So-
never went to a convention as like a kid or a teenager even. And dude, conventions are great.
They're sick
Mhm.
unless you're working,
Yeah.
and not like us when we work sometimes, where we like run games there. Working security at a convention blows.
yeah,
that was
I
my first
bet.
time at a convention. I was Anime Expo.
Okay.
That shit was so boring. But
Yeah.
I was it's just you standing. Oh, for me personally, it was just me standing in front of like a creator lounge,
Mm-hmm.
and every non-creator was like, "Can I go back there?" No. What are you gonna do if I try to go back there? Physically restrain you. You're gonna physically. I don't know if I was able to do that, but I said it every time.
Yeah.
And no one tested me, so thank God.
I would not test you either. I'd be like, okay, thanks. Appreciate
Or
the
they'd be like,
information.
"No, it's cool. My brother's over there." Okay, call him. Yeah, get out of here.
Yup.
Or it's either that or, hey, where's the nearest bathroom? And I
That
point
way.
towards the nearest bathroom. And they go,
Yep.
thanks. Yeah, that shit was boring. I'm sure Anime Expo's sick though to go to as a guest.
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah.
got to be lame because you're like
A fucking
close
weeb.
enough to
Yeah, it's awful.
everything, but you can't actually like
Do anything?
do anything.
Yeah.
The worst existence.
Mm-hmm.
But Nova, yeah, we're gonna be there. And
We're gonna
it's
be there.
Cool.
Think about Nova.
And we'll know if you're there because we'll be able to smell you.
Goodness gracious.
You know that game that we played
Oh,
called Nova?
are we already doing that?
Oh, we totally can. I just thought it was a good transition.
That is a pretty.
We can
It is
pocket it
pretty
if
good.
people
Yeah,
want
but
it.
what we do is we constantly talk about what a great transition it is, and it's no longer a great transition.
Yeah, we have done that just
no,
now.
No, no, this would be the
No, I'm
first
saying we're
time.
doing it right now.
frequently do
No,
that.
I
Yeah,
don't- I
no.
don't think
Because you
so.
guys are like, wow, what a sick transition.
Guys, I'm leaving.
Sorry. I
Speaking
did
of
this.
leaving, no, I've got nothing.
Are we out of banter for the morning?
Uh,
It's not morning.
It's
No,
not
do you
morning.
guys have more banter?
No,
I was just trying
I
to
was
grab the
not
good
sure.
transition, but it's gone now.
How
The
is
transition
editing,
can be
bro?
usually we talk until the music comes up, but now
Yeah,
I'm in
that's why
total
I was
control
like,
of when the music
oh.
comes up
Oh yeah, you
because
are
we're
in
using
total
today's
control.
sponsor.
Hey, I don't
Well, no, no, no.
Yeah.
Hey,
First of all,
today's partner.
Today's partner.
Yeah, they're not sponsoring us. This is definitely just a collab. But
Listen
you
to
want to
these-
introduce them?
Yeah, listen to these birds real quick. You guys fuck with the birds? Dude, that shit's sick. I can introduce them. They're Fantasy Plus. Well, I guess the company is.
So, Monument Studios has it's like a myriad of different musical soundtracks to kind of like enhance your TTRPG experience. They also have an app that's kind of like similar to some of the other ones that are out there, but with theirs, it's called Fantasy Plus, and you're able to like add in different audio files and kind of like customize your own sort of a playlist, and then have them like overlap with one another. Some of these ones loop, while then those other audio files don't actually loop, and then custom like one-off effects, like an arrow sling.
Like an arrow sling.
I mean, it sounds fucking great.
Isn't that so cool?
It's cool too because yeah, like Damien was saying, you can make custom playlists, but they come with a bunch of like pre-made playlists, and you can mess with the value of each track individually, right? So like if I wanted, is this the birds or the music? It's a mute.
It's kind of both.
Kind of both. The birds just stop when I want them to not stop.
Forest Daytime is the kind of like more nature. Well, what playlist are we using?
This is yeah. These
Yeah.
are like the nature sound effects, and I can make them loud. I can make them quiet. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That's really
And
fun.
what I really appreciate about it is the quality of this stuff is really good.
Mhm.
They even got like people from the Halo and God of War soundtracks and
Ooh.
That's crazy.
like Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls
Elder
and Hitman.
Scrolls.
Yeah, like
You guys
they
know
got
my
They
obsession.
have a lot of good stuff.
Professional
They have a lot of good
vocalists.
sounds. Like
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
so many like, even like just ambiance generic. They have like sounds of like people chopping vegetables and cooking. They have sounds of buildings burning. Like it's so good.
And it's not just limited to fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
They have like a whole suite of different sound effects for like space flight stuff, which I'm very,
Science.
Yep.
very interested in looking into.
Yeah,
they have a whole occult forces one that I totally
Mhm.
could have used during Call of Cthulhu
I know.
Wow.
I know. It was sad that
Yeah.
like we found this afterwards.
right after.
Um,
Yep.
But the next couple of one shots that or side quests, I guess, because we never really know if it's going to be a one shot. We're gonna test this out a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys will be hearing on the pod.
Yeah.
During
So-
their Kickstarter timeframe, which starts on August 20th. And I don't want to misspeak, so I'm going to look it up. But it ends up around the 17th of September, I want to say. Yeah. So the Kickstarter starts on August 20th, 2024, and ends September 17th, 2024. So we're going to
What's going on right now?
August 20th.
Is it going on right now?
Time travel?
Time travel?
Oh yeah, we are time
What's going
traveling.
on right
We are
now?
time
It
traveling.
is
It
going
should
on
have-
right now.
yeah.
If you guys have more questions about it, feel free to look them up on
MonumentStudios.net.
Ooh, you know they're official. They
Yes.
got .net.
and they also have Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
If you have questions, you can throw us a chat in Discord or something like that, and we'll
Yeah,
send
we'll
you
have
links.
a link or two in the description as well. Other
yeah.
cards. What do we say?
The,
In the
show
show
notes.
Show notes.
Yeah. Um,
And the card?
and
Yeah,
throughout
that's a YouTube thing.
throughout the
Is it?
no,
Where do they say that? They say that somewhere.
probably I don't know.
Whatever. It
Anyway.
doesn't matter.
We'll have some extra info about it on our Instagram as well. If you guys haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, it's pretty cool. They reached out to us and they were like, "Hello, we're doing a Kickstarter. We think it's pretty rad." And we were like, "Yeah, I
It
mean, it's
sounds
pretty
pretty rad.
rad."
We
Yeah.
Like,
agree.
Get it? It
So-
sounds pretty rad. It's a
Uh-huh.
music
yeah, 'cause
suite.
It's music. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's cool. It's definitely a vibe. Even like their art that they've got for it
Mhm.
is just
Yeah,
pleasing to look at.
they got people from Wizards of the Coast to
To draw?
do the art. Like
Oh.
they got some of those artists. Like
That's
again,
crazy.
very high production quality.
Yeah.
One of my biggest flexes is that my grandma almost
Mhm.
did art for Wizards of the Coast.
That is really cool.
And you
I
know
didn't
what's
know
the
that.
most impressive
Cool.
of people they got to work with them? Us. They got the
Yeah,
role-playing
it
music
is.
on with them.
Moving up in the world.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast, heck 'em. But the roleplay rejects were out. No, I'm just kidding. Those artists are really talented. That shit.
They are.
Yeah.
no, yeah, like I want to make that clear.
There's so many times when I've just looked at the card art and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and like one more plug for them. I'm sure we'll talk about this later too, but one of the things that I also really appreciate as far as I am understanding it, because we had a bit of a back and forth on Instagram, just kind of like learning about them a little bit more. They have all of their music is
It's all under a royalty-free license.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
thank
use it
you. It's
without
like-
worrying about any legal.
Yeah, so
BS.
so if you guys want to play it just for your table sick, if you guys have a podcast too and you want to utilize it, like that's something that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Monument Studios.
Check them out.
Yeah,
Fantasy Plus, which makes me happy. Also, I like the name. I don't
I
know.
like the name too. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's like, it's just it feels correct. You
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Speaking of feels correct,
We're playing a
Spencer
game.
Cam-
Spencer Campbell.
Spencer Campbell. Yeah.
He made this game. It's called Hunt.
What?
I don't know, man. I was looking for a transition somewhere.
Which we've mentioned Spencer Campbell on the pod before.
Yeah, we played other games of his as well.
Yeah.
I met him at PAX.
I also
Yeah,
met him at
same.
PAX.
He was sick.
Yeah, he was like, "What's up?"
I didn't meet him.
Stevie.
This year you
she's
will.
gone on record and said she hates Spencer Campbell.
No. Goodness gracious. That's not true.
Nah, he's a cool guy. He
We'll
has cool
introduce you.
games. This is the second game of his we'll be playing, right? Or
Yeah,
have we
second
played
one
it?
on the pod.
Yeah.
I ran
That's right.
Slayers for the Nova Open last year.
Yeah.
So I've played 3 of his games now.
Mm-hmm. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
I want to play another one of his games. I want to
Okay.
be at 3.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'll run Slayers for y'all.
I think that'd
you
be
won't.
fun.
Yeah, we can do that during
Let's do it right now.
a friend time.
Just kidding.
No, I'm not prepared.
Hunt. It is a game. We played a few other games that are like group goes out exploring and there's like challenges for them to overcome.
Yeah.
Hunt does not use any dice. So essentially what's going to happen is my players, I'm the GM for this game, the players will create one of the many knights that they can pick. They all have different oaths. It's essentially like their class system in this game. And they will choose a weapon, which each weapon has a unique like cost associated with it. So every player no 2 players can have the same weapon. But essentially how this works is they'll come up with a little bit of their backstory for their order and their individual knights. Then every knight has 3 attributes: valor, haste, and guile. These are the attributes they will use to overcome the challenges that they will face on their way to hunt the beast they're going to hunt. Each attribute has 5 like little ticks that will get filled in as they use them. And if they can't pay the requisite attribute, or if they want to use a different attribute, then we'll start falling into complications as they overcome their challenges. And then at the end, they'll get to the beast, they'll fight it, they'll probably win, or they'll die. And then we'll go home. We'll all have a good time. It'll be great. I have blurbs to read that I think are cool.
Ooh, okay.
I think. Hold. Everyone relax.
I'm so relaxed.
Honestly, yeah, dude, the background music is so good.
It helps.
Yeah.
Have you guys? I am going to read this. It's kind of long, though. So everyone deal with listening to me read for a long time.
Okay.
Oh, God. This is the worst. I have the worst eyesight of the party.
Do you want someone else to read?
Yeah. Here you go.
Why?
Wait.
I didn't say me.
Yeah.
You've seen me read.
Oh, okay, I've got it.
Okay,
He's
hold
got
on,
it.
hold
But
on.
like, why
I'll
did you
start
say
us
no to
off.
me though?
Thank
I'll
you.
start us off.
You also said no to you.
Yeah, but you said no before I said no.
They should put that in this
That was
in the
nice.
sound library if they don't
Yeah.
already have it.
can just-
Dude.
Call it roleplay rejects. Let's just be that.
Hey, we should let them know.
Because you can't talk.
Okay.
That's mean.
Sorry.
It's true, but mean.
All right. In Hunt, you and your friends will tell a story of doomed order of knights. In a final desperate act, the knights gather together for one final quest into the wild forest surrounding their once great keep. Hunt is a tabletop role-playing game for 3 to 5 players. One player takes the role of the GM, and the rest of the knights are the doomed order.
Yeah.
The GM will present scenes and obstacles, and the knights will face them. Do you want me to
Skim it real quick. If it sounds cool, read it. If not,
Okay. It uses the Lumen system, which is Spencer Campbell uses in some of his other games. To play, we'll each need a character sheet. Gonna skip that. Your order was once a bastion of power and
There we go.
safety in a cruel and uncaring world. I think that's what you wanted.
that
me
is
to
what.
read.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
okay.
No,
all
that's
right.
my bad. That's my bad. I did not explain
You were
that at
just
all.
listening along. You're like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll just read all of
Read
these
the whole book.
pages, the whole thing. Okay. Your order was once a bastion of power.
Wait, was what you were reading on the left side?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. I'll stop interrupting.
It's 2 pages, Wesley.
sorry. But that one's red, so I thought you would know for literally no reason.
Yeah, it's red, so I'm supposed to read it.
Yeah.
Because you read it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's red.
Okay. Your order was once a bastion of power and safety in a cruel and uncaring world. Knights from all around the world flocked to your walls, seeking to swear oaths and join the cause. Each week, the head of another great beast would be brought back as trophies from the countless hunting parties that would ride out into the hungry forest. That was then, though. Disaster has fallen upon your order. The knights are scattered, the walls crumble, the feasting halls once filled with raucous singing and laughter sit silent, corroded goblets, and the smell of rotten meat staining the very air. The blood of a great beast has not been fed to the soil of the courtyard for over 5 years. Something must be done.
Oh my god.
In an act of desperation, a small group of the remaining knights have broken the seals on the keep's vault. Inside, the relics and weapons of an ancient time call to them, begging to be wielded once again. It will cost these knights everything, but it is the Order's only hope.
Oh, that
Ooh,
makes
thank
sense why
you.
we can't choose the same weapon now.
Mhm.
Because they're special weapons.
Yeah,
They are
because we're
special
pulling them
weapons.
out of the
And
vault.
it's why they're so devastating to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's the vibe. Talked about the rules a little bit. Challenge, attribute, consequence if necessary. There will be three, it's broken up into 3 parts in a boss fight, right? So there'll be like the first beginning of the story, and there's like a rest scene in between. It doesn't specifically say like bullshit with each other, but please feel free to bullshit with each other at any point, but especially like in between, if thou so wish. Have you guys already? It sounds like you've already pretty much picked your characters and your weapons. Is that
I
correct?
think so,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so in that case, let's talk about order and character creation. We'll do this in the order that the book says, because I'm a very simple guy. So, each player should answer the following questions aloud to their fellow knights. Sorry, that was really hard for some reason. I don't know why. Do we want to have? There's a list of questions. Do we want one question and everybody will answer that question, or do we want to have one person go down the list and then the next person go down the list
I like the question.
one at a time?
Yeah,
one question everyone
yeah.
answers?
Yeah, sorry, I know I didn't give you a real answer.
Is that format cool
Go
with
for it.
everyone?
Yeah.
Question number 1: Why did you become a knight?
Oh shit! I was not ready. For
Sorry,
that.
yeah, what I meant to say before all this was, if you guys need a second to like think about these, we can also do that. I can read them out loud. It's on page 31 in the
Page
book.
31. Well, before we jump into that, do we want to talk about like the options available for the oaths and weapons,
Oh,
Are we going to get into that?
or do we want to just hop into that like as the story goes?
I was thinking we can do that as the story goes,
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
but if you want to do it now that you filled my heart with doubt, we can.
Well, see, my heart was filled with doubt, so instead of me just living with that,
Yeah, you shared
Just
it,
share
and
it.
that's good because that's what friends are for.
sharing their doubt.
So I became a knight because I felt like I didn't really have an identity growing up. And I wanted to be part of something greater than myself.
That's very honorable.
Oh, thank you.
There is no rush.
I became a knight as family tradition.
Ooh, okay.
The youngest of 3 sons.
Hmm.
When you say that, you mean your 2 other brothers also
Yeah.
became knights?
Yes.
Okay. For a second, I was like, why does the youngest always become a knight? But then I realized that's probably not what you meant. Wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah,
Like, what if you
could-
have another kid?
Yeah,
after-
right?
Like,
They're like,
You
man,
could.
I guess we're only having one. And then 15 years later, right after I start squire school, parents have another kid. I'm like, okay, I
guess
gotta
I'm
find
good.
a new
Yeah, I'm-
profession.
I guess I'll go be a tinkerer.
What about you, Misty? Why did you become a knight?
I know
She's
why I
giving me
became
That's
a knight.
daggers.
a
If Misty
great
doesn't know.
question.
Stevie,
I need a moment.
why did you become a knight?
Because I wanted to help the order because I saw how many of once great knights had fallen in the
So-
last several years.
So you'd be pretty recent then to the order.
Yeah, relatively.
Cool.
Have you been around since the fall of the order?
I kind of grew up as a teenager watching the fall of the order,
Okay.
and so I was familiar with some of the knights that have since passed.
Cool.
Mm.
Okay.
I think for me, it was always just a way to adventure.
Hmm.
Everybody growing up had boring jobs, farming and being shopkeeps, and that sounded awful. So this was a way for me to go do literally anything else.
Nice. Question number 2. How long have you been a member of the order? I think we already kind of answered that with Stevie.
Oh,
A little bit.
Like
Yeah.
a little under 5 years.
I've been a member for 10 years, which is very weird for Oath of the Echoes nights.
But now you get all the benefits.
I do get all the benefits.
Tenure.
They can't fire you.
They can't.
I'm thinking maybe like somewhere between 12 and 15.
Ooh.
I think like long enough for me to have like very fond memories,
Mm.
and that's something that I'm kind of like living with.
Mm-hmm.
Rip. I would say I'm probably newer. How long did we say it was since it's been 5 years since? I think maybe less than a year.
Okay. So you're brand new.
Yeah. Because yeah, I just don't think my logic behind it is if I'm craving adventure and then I show up and there's not really anything going on,
Oh.
that would kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
But like maybe you guys can like you guys could be like we're gonna fix it, it's gonna get better. But I feel like if I had been there for like, let's say like 4 years, like that's a long time to like
No, I
hope
swear we're gonna
something-
fix it.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But I mean,
Um,
also, it might just be a lack of understanding at that point in time, though. Like, is it 4 years of like actively being a knight going through your whole trial, or is it you started your trial at like 4 years ago, and then have been like training since then?
My
Ooh.
trial doesn't seem like it's a very long one.
You don't have to spend a year underground.
No.
No.
Oh, well,
What?
that's just me.
Welcome to the Oaths and Trials.
But is that
Yeah, I was gonna say
Fair.
if you're open to suggestion and
Yeah.
you don't have to take the test at all. But for me, what would make sense if you want to have joined pretty recently is that the fortress and the order is pretty much fallen, but you do know they have really cool weapons in their vaults. So it makes sense as an adventurer to be like at least curious about these weapons that you might otherwise never get the opportunity to see, let alone wield. Same thing with some of the oaths, right? If you decide to take an oath to see what kind of like what it's like to like be a knight of that oath. If you weren't already, like you could, I guess, have already been sworn to that oath. But that would just make sense to me. That way, for them, it might be more like we're trying to bring our order back to its former glory. But for you, it's like a footnote because even at the end, spoilers. If you live, you get to decide what your knight does afterwards. So you could just leave. Like you don't have to be attached to this order with your heart and soul. So
Yeah, I like that. I think it's more just like the opportunity to like live the legends that you get told as a kid, and like see if it is actually a thing and see if these really cool weapons actually exist and see if these knights are actually as
knighty as they say.
yeah.
Cool. Was that everyone? Sorry. Yeah. How long have you been a member? Yeah, that was everyone. Why did you select your particular oath? And if you want to use this time to talk about your oath a bit, you can. Or I can talk about your oath a bit, if that's easier. Whatever you want.
So I chose the Oath of Echoes because you take on the identity of the things around you. And so I didn't feel like I was going to amount to anything as a youngin', but then I became very indoctrinated, definitely became part of the order. Is this where we're talking about our trials too?
No. We talking about the weapon trials?
Oh no, like the
Oh, the oath trials.
The oath
yeah,
trial.
you can talk. Yeah, talk about that here.
so all order of the Echoes Knights have to spend a year blindfolded.
Whoa.
So they can train their hearing and practice mimicking the sounds of the things around them. Yeah, so
That's really cool.
I'm very good at like mimicking bird calls, and I can make the sound of a waterfall. And so pretty much anything in the forest I can mimic.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I
Yep.
didn't read that at all.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's sick. The Night of Echo is so cool.
It is. And in my headcanon, because he's been around for 10 years, he has also dabbled in cutting off his other senses. So he spent a year with like earmuffs on, where he focused on art and perceiving things around him and that sort of thing. But the main focus of the Night of Echoes is that sound.
Cool.
I took the Oath of Stone. Mostly family lineage, you know, kind of like pressured into it, but it stands for something good. They're kind of like the protectors. Their trial is that they have to spend an entire year underground. And when they come back, they find that their skin is like more rock-like in texture. And what this ends up doing is, after, you know, like years and years and years and years and years, it hardens up to a point that they take purchase as like gargoyles around the fortress, waiting to defend it one last time.
When you spent a year underground, did you still have like light and supplies and stuff like that coming down to you? Or do you think it was just like you eating bugs in the dark?
I think it kind of starts off as eating bugs in the dark, kind of a thing. I think maybe you start off with just like a couple rations, but something like a pitiful amount. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here's like 5 dinners, have fun. 1 torch, good luck, bud. But after that amount of time, once you're like finally encapsulated in the darkness and just the earth around, it's when the change kind of starts happening.
Have you seen those studies where they put people in a room with no clock and are like, good luck figuring out what time it is, and like seeing how their biological clocks change? Like,
I haven't
It
seen that.
gets crazy.
It gets
like
super
people
weird.
have no sense of time.
yeah.
Like
I already don't.
without the sun, you have no sense of time.
Oh yeah.
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 And so you being underground, I bet that happened where you're like, I'm not sure how many days I've been down here, but someone will come get me at 1 year.
Yeah.
Eventually, I hope.
Well, because one of the like powers, I guess, that you get as the Oath of Stone. So like you've got mimicry. I can, if I stand perfectly still for a moment's time, my skin hardens and becomes invulnerable to the forest's mundane dangers and creatures.
Cool.
So I imagine that sense of time, like slipping away, is like when you learn to just
Become rock.
become like rock.
That's
Reject
really cool.
humanity, return to rock.
Dr. Stone.
Also, it's not in here
Yeah.
at all, but I've decided that each of the knights gets named after a rock, because when they're down there, they bring up a rock
Oh,
and
okay.
add it to the fortress walls
Oh, cool.
to kind of like help build up everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
So my brother Slate and Onyx brought
Okay.
pretty sizable chunks up. My character's name is Pebble, so infer that what you will.
Rip.
Slate is a cool name for a character. I'm stealing that.
Okay.
I'm using it for a future character.
Okay.
You can't have it.
Blood.
Blood.
Oath of blood. That's what I did.
Blood? Not funny.
I
Just you were like, oh, everyone's got blood. I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
Oh, this will be easy. I took the Oath of Blood because part of what I wanted to do was protect the knights that did go out, and that's kind of what the Oath of Blood is all about. Like the trial It's kind of gross. You have to drain all the blood from your body. They drain all the blood from your body, and they feed it to the Order's Sanguine Vault, while new blood is pumped back into your body.
Dude.
Isn't that
And-
wild?
Those that survive live incredibly long lives with the sole purpose of studying and administering blood until their veins run dry.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really gross.
So
It's like freaking weird magic dialysis.
yeah, but like all of the Oath of Blood share each other's blood? Like does
I
it all
think
go
that's
into
what
the vault?
that's how
believe
in my
that's the
brain
implication,
it
yeah.
works. Is it
That's so
all is in
cool.
the vault, and then
Which is why most people who try to take the oath die.
Because you have to be O, which is the one that can accept everything.
Oh, positive.
O positive. You have to be O positive.
if they don't
Right?
know, that's why people keep
I
dying.
think so.
I think it is.
That
One
was-
is the eternal giver. Like one everyone can take. One is compatible with everyone. I think O positive might be the one that anyone can take actually. But I actually have no idea. I'm not a bloodologist,
Phlebotomist.
a flipologist.
Okay.
You're all saying the
Oh,
same thing.
yeah. So AB positive is the universal recipient.
Okay.
So
Oh, they're like,
you
give
would-
me any blood, honey.
It'd be
It's fine.
AB positive.
Hmm.
I don't know my blood type. I'm not gonna lie. I
Really?
should.
Oh, I got an
I-
A plus on the blood
I knew
test.
it when I had
Hmm.
my kid because I saw it on the paper, and then I forgot it. And I'm too scared to ask at this point because I feel like I should know.
No,
valid.
that's definitely something that you can learn later in life. Because I didn't learn mine until I was like 16 or 17, and I started giving plasma for money,
I didn't know mine
selling
until I
my
was
body.
19. I was 19 when I learned mine.
I did want to mention that I think the Lord of Blood is, or Lord
Oath
of
of
Blood,
Blood.
Oath of Blood, is really a cool concept because normally I think of I don't know, like Spencer Campbell's other game Nova, where the Sanguine is an actual fucking monster vampire,
Uh-huh.
but in
Hey.
this they're like the clerics, like the healers of the party.
Yeah,
which is
I'm
cool.
like, yo, girl, drink this blood.
I like
It'll
the
help you feel
implication too that
better.
it's like because of the weird blood stuff, you live longer, therefore you have more time to learn more things. And
Yeah.
so it kind of makes, in a weird way, it kind of makes sense that they fall into like these more like, I can help you better because I just have more knowledge than you because I've just been around so much longer than you.
Yeah, and I can like help rid a knight of any major injury or disease given the right location, and that it's quiet and clean. That's what I can do. I can do more, but it's gross.
Why oath, Misty?
Because it's cool. No, I think for me it's that same idea of like never wanting to be trapped. And so taking the Oath of Sky means that I don't have to be. So for the Oath of Sky, it says, those who take up the Oath of Sky rarely spend time in the Order's monastery. Instead, they take up residence in the treetops and canopies high above their fellow knights. The Oath of Sky is to forever look towards the horizon, ever vigilant for threats that would attempt to break the walls under your domain. And then it goes on to talk about how, like, as a knight of this oath, you eventually, like, your limbs grow longer and your bones become hollow.
Oh,
So you basically turn into like a bird.
verb.
But then it sucks too because like walking on the ground it like hurts you. So the goal is to like always be up in the treetops and like never trapped, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's like lethally high. Like
Mhm.
I believe Knights of the Sky stop being Knights of the Sky when they eventually fuck up and fall
Yeah.
from their heights.
yeah,
Neat. I was like, what is everyone
just
staring
like
at
a
me
bird.
for? I have the book. That's why everyone's staring at me. What is your knight's name and pronouns? What do they look like? You can be as like descriptive or not as you want. I'm not gonna force you to tell me like every speck of pupil. Just whatever you want to give for a general description.
So part of the Oath of Echoes is as you are learning more about the sounds of other things, you lose more and more of yourself. And so my character is just Sir Knight.
SYR, nice.
Because he has forgotten his name.
I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What do they look like?
A taller individual is not very broad-shouldered or broad-hipped. Kind of what's the word? Androgynous. Yeah, kind of androgynous. Has a male-sounding voice, but yeah, and that's why people assume Sir Knight instead of Madam Knight or whatever we decide those pronouns are. And yeah, he, him, and I wear the blindfold that I wore for a year over one of my shoulders, and it is kind of graying because it's such an old piece of cloth. It was originally a like bluish whitish color, and now it's more of just all gray and maybe a little green stain from being out in the forest.
Did people do? It's different for different differences, but for our order, and by that I mean for your order, do you want to do like Dame or Madam for female knights, or do you want to do Sir? Because SYR, I believe, is gender neutral.
Okay.
So everyone could be Sir, whatever. Or like you could just go by your name. But like as far as like knights go, we also.
Is it Sir Bryn of Tarth from Game of
Yeah.
Thrones? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that actress so much.
She's so cool.
She's so cool and everything.
She's Captain Phasma.
I like SYR. I think
Okay.
it's cool.
Cool.
But
It is my favorite iteration of Sir.
yeah.
My guy. My
My
guy
guy.
is named Pebble.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, the rock that he brought up was like of okay size, but his brothers gave him shit.
Oh,
that's
that makes
Pebble.
sense because he's the
Because
youngest.
he's the youngest.
Yeah.
Rip.
But at this point, it is a something that he wears with pride. That was long ago. At this point, he is a relatively tall, maybe like 5'11", 6 foot height, wide-shouldered individual. You only really ever see him in his armor. You're not actually sure if he can take it off at this point. But his armor is encrusted with like craggy rock pieces assembled in such a way to cover like his torso, his shoulders, his gauntlets. He does remove his helmet. His helmet is again like a ornate kind of rock shape. And beneath, he is fair-skinned, brown hair, but with the streaks of gray coming in. He's got a relatively short beard. The gray is coming in there as well.
I want to talk about my helmet.
Go ahead.
It's a mirror.
Wow, that's so
Oh,
cool.
that's awesome.
That's it.
Yeah, I didn't think about helmets, but then you were like, "Mine's a cool rock."
Well, I
like,
was
what would
looking
my
at
Echo
the-
one be?
I was looking at
Yeah.
the very, very cool art that they have for...
They have
The
great art
knights,
in this.
all the
film.
knights look really cool as you
So
flip through the
cool.
book.
Yeah.
It's sick.
I just followed them on Instagram. I like stalked. So it's the art is done by I believe it's Galen Peju. I don't know how to say their last name, but it's Pejeau. And they gave the Twitter handle for them, and then I went on, like, I found their itch, and then I found their Instagram, because their art is so cool.
She went on a whole side quest.
I did. It looks like Itch and Twitter are the best way to find them, though. But it's so cool.
It's really good. Art,
Who's next?
night appearance.
Okay.
I am tall. I'm a woman. I smell like blood, but despite that, my clothes are always like noticeably very clean. I do wear dark red robes and a black helm, and the helm has like a red stone in the center. It's pokey. The helm is, not the stone. And then I always have a necklace with metal vials on it.
What's your character's name?
Oh, Varen Lupau.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Sir Varen Lupau, I guess. I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's Finnish
Varen?
for blood priest.
Okay.
Mm.
Or something different that I forgot.
You said Varen?
Veren space Lupaus.
Cool. Oh, like lupus. Lupao. Interesting. Okay. It's a blood disease.
I'm not a doctor.
Oh, that's actually like the priest part.
Really?
Yeah,
Right? Isn't lupus a blood
very-
disease?
but with
I
more
don't
of
know.
a like veri is like blood, gore, that kind of thing. I don't know if it was priest. I can't remember.
I looked over your shoulder. It was Blood Promise.
Blood promise because the oath.
Mm.
I was gonna do blood priest, but it didn't sound that cool. I think. Yeah, that's my name.
I assure you, I will wear it out.
My name is Sir Camden. They use they, them pronouns. If I referenced them as a her before, I apologize. I'm used to playing women.
Mhm.
And so I was like, this would be... I appreciate games who have this as like
I
a
do too.
conversation piece, because then I actually like
Think.
put thought into it.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
I'm the same way.
how, like, what would they want to be addressed as, and so I'm going with they them for Camden. I'm just going based off of the
The art,
art
for the
because
night.
it's beautiful, but I think because they're newer, in my head canon, the Oath of Sky, they're like cloak. You know, is it called a cloak when it's over armor?
Yeah.
Okay. So their like cloak kind of designates how long they've been in, because they end up utilizing that as like their wings when they can fly. So like in the artwork, they have really long wing / cloak thing on them, and so instead hers is like one of those like kind of cloaks that touch like the shoulder blade area almost, where it's like just shorter, but it's still in that like little wing shape. And she's still, especially since she's still young in this order, she's started to notice some growth in height, but she's still pretty small. So more so than anything, she's noticing like some of the hollowness in her bones starting, but hasn't seen like a lot of height. It's like pretty small. And their cloaks are purple.
Nice.
So they're purple birds.
Oh, purds.
Purds, if you will. You heard.
With
purred.
purred happily.
I love Parks and Rec. Anyway, yeah.
And then we will provide the questions answered. Sorry. We will answer the questions of your weapons. So we can take a second to talk about the weapon you picked. You, the player, can tell me why you picked that weapon if you want to. And then you can provide the answers to the 2 weapon questions for our listeners out there. They smell really bad, first of all. Secondly, Each weapon comes with 2 questions. One relating to like a little bit of the history about that weapon before our knight started wielding it, and one addressing that the price that knight had to pay to wield the weapon.
Dibs.
Damien has dibs. He will answer first.
So, my guy has the scroll. Basically, there's like a coven of knights studying the ancient and forgotten arts from the scroll. So the scroll is like an ever-growing tapestry, adding more arcane stuff in there. But it also provides true enlightenment on the purpose of the forest, TM. So, one of the questions, though, is the scroll was sealed away when its previous owner cast a foul ritual on a now forbidden area of the woods. What was this ritual, and how has the forest forever changed because of it? So, Onyx, my brother, stole the scroll. I'm trying to figure out what the ritual should be and how the forest was changed because of it, and I was thinking it would be fun having it as an open discussion
Okay.
of what we think might have happened, because I think it could like tie into why our order is failing, maybe.
Okay. Mine also has a necromancer who failed, and like I feel like a lot of these items have some sort of like dark backstory.
Okay, so maybe it's all just like
It's all like compounding on each other.
compounding on each
Yeah.
other. Okay. You know, I think I've got something here.
Okay.
So I'll say that the foul ritual was maybe well intentioned initially. We were starting to notice like a lack of great beasts coming in. So tried to do a ritual where he would reawaken the gargoyles. He couldn't do it directly in there, but went to like a separate location where how free am I to add things to the world?
As free as you want. It's our world, comrade.
There's another location away from the fortress where there's more of these gargoyle kinds of statues. So he tries using the scroll there to like reawaken them, but instead has encased that entire area in stone.
Dang.
Like a harmful, ever-shifting stone. So, the second part. In order to wield this weapon, you take on a foul mutation as the void caresses you. What changes are wrought to your mind and body? I thought it would be kind of interesting if, upon taking this, the mutation that I gain is like I'm like constantly dripping seawater.
Ooh. Okay.
I just think that could be interesting. Fear of the deep and all that.
That's super creepy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Salty. Wait. Is seawater?
Yeah.
It is salty, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Next.
So my knight's weapon is the skull, and it is literally a skull of a necromancer who tried to create a new spell, but that spell instead damned them forever.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. And to wield it, you must rip out a piece of your soul and bury it. So, this happened recently, but when he went to take it out of the vault, he had to he spoke his name into the skull, and everyone forgot it, including him.
Dang.
And so that is the piece of his soul that is missing now. So
That's fucking cool.
That's sick.
it is, but it also makes him feel even more lonely than he did before, because No one calls him by his name,
Mm-hmm.
but no one knows it, and he doesn't know it. So what you gonna do? The skull's super cool. I can banish an undead or spirit coming across my path, but I have to bury another piece of my soul in there. We'll get to there when we do. If I'll figure out something to bury, we'll see.
Do also, so for our listeners, every weapon has 2 of the same quest and a unique one. So the first 2 for every weapon are test the metal of your fellow knights
Oh, okay.
and strike back against the forest through desecration or destruction. Every weapon has those 2 quests. The third quest is unique to the weapon. So if you'll please let us know your unique quest as well, that would be
Ooh.
fun. Unless you don't want to, like if you want it to be secret. But I invite you to do so. You do not have to do so.
Okay. So I can banish a spirit or undead. I can also kill a mundane creature, and then it will follow me and haunt me for the rest of the hunt.
Wow.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know why I would do that off the top of my head, other than to fulfill my quest, which is desecrate a patch of the untouched forest with the scent of undeath.
Well, so part of the challenges can be mundane creatures, and since
Okay.
all your weapons are super fucking cool, you can, and you're all trained knights, you can kill mundane creatures.
Okay.
But doing so will invoke the penalty of the weapon's condition.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So why, like, if
Okay.
like, for example, if I was like, you're walking down the forest and you see a fucked up jungle cat, and it's angry, it's pissed. You can try to use one of your 3 attributes to find a more creative way to clear it without using your weapon, as to avoid paying the price of using your weapon on a mundane creature.
Okay. And then I've got a bunch of necromantic type powers that I'll bring up once we get into fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Damien, do we want to circle back to you? If you want to tell your quest, you don't have to.
I won't say my quest, but I will say the
power.
powers real quick because that is a good shout. I can bend reality in a small way to reveal the true forest behind the veil.
Ooh, okay.
But when I do that, another mutation takes hold.
Ooh.
So, yeah. The other one is kill a mundane creature of the forest. But if I do that, I corrupt the whole area in magic and bring perilous blight to those around me. So,
Oh, fun.
yeah, maybe I won't be doing any of those. And then there's another section that we won't get into yet.
Weapons.
I have a weapon. It's a shield.
Wow.
The shield, TM. Nothing can penetrate the layers of steel that make up the shield. Despite years of service, it remains unblemished, a shining beacon of the Order. It was brought to the vault after its great price was revealed. What does it take in order to remain unblemished and unbroken? I thought that it takes an unknown number of years off your life.
Mm.
So it's a risk. If you choose to accept its protection, there have been people who have just,
Like instantly after
yeah,
picking it up.
and there's no way of really knowing how long they're going to live. So you don't know.
Mm.
So
Dang.
it was just too much of a gamble.
So it's like the wielder's vitality is what keeps the shield unbroken and shining.
That's because it's stealing the years so that then it's always brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah.
In order to wield this weapon, I must forget who I am and become a protector of the Order.
You guys are besties.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Saiyans.
What memory did I release? That's why I'm just Blood Oath,
Oh, okay.
Mm.
because that's all I am at this point.
Dude, this whole order is people who have like lost their identity.
What memory do you release as you have the shield? And the memory I released was the memory of a successful order. Like all my memories of like people bring home beasts every week.
Oh, that's sad.
Like how the order
Okay.
was in its
Gone.
prime. Dang.
So I've kind of like lost the reason why I'm protecting the order, but I still have the drive to protect
Yeah,
the
you
order.
just know that's what you do, even if you
Yeah.
don't remember why.
Dang.
And if you're worried about losing your identity, today's show sponsor,
What a good plug that would be.
right? Oh man,
Oh man,
come on,
someone
we gotta
sponsor
get
us,
some
bro.
sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
That was
so
sick.
the abilities, I think it's the abilities. Yeah.
Under the orange.
I protect any who lay hands on the shield from the dangers of the forest. Those who seek this bulwark must pay the price you described when choosing this weapon. So I think that means I can protect.
You can protect anyone from things,
Yeah.
but if they accept your protection, they too have to forget something. Since that's the price you paid when you picked up the shield. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That's
I thought it was the price that I described was the years.
oh, is that
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
it says the price you paid when you picked up the
It
bulwark?
says the price you described when choosing this weapon. And it said, what does it take in order to remain? Like, because its great price was revealed.
Okay, yeah. That I think you're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a clown.
Sorry, I'm not trying to kill any of you guys.
But it might happen.
But it might happen.
But that way, in my brain, I was like, that way, if any of us die, it'll be like, oh my God, they were supposed to die X amount of years later, but now they died then. Because
Yep.
of the shield. Whoops. Guess it didn't work that well.
All right, GM. Decide how long we're all going to live.
So
So you can
And then-
subtract that.
Kill a mundane creature of the forest. A shield is a brutal weapon of war, tarnishing your soul when wielded so. So I have to take the time to clean the shield or suffer the forest's wrath.
Angry Forest.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes me think of Darker Than Black. They have,
Oh, I forgot
like,
that
all of them
exists.
have, well, not all of them, but some people have, like, crazy powers.
Okay.
But it exacts a price. So, like, one guy was able to, like, turn into water and then, like, return back to human form. But after he returns to human form, he has to, like, line up stones in a very particular way. Otherwise, like, it's an obsessive need to do it
Okay.
after using your power.
Huh. Okay.
Another, my special quest, which is kind of funny, given my whole thing, is protect myself at the cost of others.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I'll see how that works.
I would like to be
Play.
protected. Okay. And what will you exchange for this protection, my friend?
I chose the sling. It says, no matter what ammunition you place within the sling, its aim is true and it soars through the air like a lightning bolt. The crack of thunder that follows wakes the forest. This sling was used to slay something unworthy of a knight of the order. What was killed by the sling, and what ammunition will the sling never hurl again as a result?
Dang.
Yeah. So I think the question of like what is something unworthy of a knight?
Mm-hmm.
I think is something I'd like us all to talk about because
Another human.
so do we only kill beasts? We don't kill humans?
So you think
I think that would be a fair thing
Yeah.
to
Or even if it was just like a peasant or
like
or
an
something.
innocent human?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like my skull came from another knight that the order killed.
Mm.
Yeah,
You can do that if you want.
Okay, yeah.
an
Yeah, that's
innocent.
just the
Does that
first one.
does that?
No,
vibe
I
with you?
like
I
that.
think I think that that was the first one that came to mind for me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only other thing I could think of is like something incapable of protecting itself. For example, if you saw like I don't know, like let's say like the last beast that was slain was like a giant serpent,
Mm-hmm.
and you saw a little tiny baby serpent that was not threatening at all, but like preemptively you killed it because you knew what it would grow to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe knights don't fight things that can't possibly protect themselves, right?
Okay.
But it's up to you
So
guys.
just like innocence
Mhm.
in general,
Mhm.
regardless of species.
Yeah, it depends. I guess it depends where your honor lies, right? Because like if you're like, we never kill anyone ever, or any non-knight ever, then like, if I threw just a shitty guy in your way, would you not kill him? Out of principle, like, is that what your honor is? And that's not wrong. I think that's the question, right? Like,
Yeah.
does our honor lie in not killing humans? Does it lie in only accepting fights from people that can defend themselves? Do we steal from the rich, give to the poor? Like, and then you accidentally killed a poor person? Like, what? Like, I think that's the bigger question. Is like, what do you pride yourself on?
Well, I think that's the thing, though, right? Is that's more of a question for the order,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
that's what I mean.
because whoever killed something last with this sling is not.
Went against that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it being like we don't kill innocent beings.
Like anything that cannot protect itself.
Yeah.
That deal.
Okay.
That way your lore with the skull still can make sense. And I feel like, and this kind of gets into more of like our group as
Order
a whole,
lore.
but I feel like knights need something to stand for.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, like, what's the point of being a knight?
You're just
So-
cosplaying.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of it maybe that being like one of the things that we are
One of your tenets.
championing. Okay, so what was killed by this sling? Yeah, I think just I like the idea of it being an accident also, so it's like even worse that it wasn't like somebody who was like maliciously doing these things, but it was a knight was in the forest and there was a child that was in the bushes, and instead of acting upon like going to like investigate and whatever, and then
Yeah, he heard the sound.
and
Shot at it.
automatically
Yeah.
shot at it, and then
Oops.
yeah, and the sling, what will it never hurl again as a result? I think maybe, because the cool thing is I whatever I want can be used with this sling.
Mm-hmm.
So I think rocks are the ammunition that I can't use anymore. In my
Okay.
head canon, it was a stone.
Yeah, and I think that makes
Right.
sense too, only because if I was a sling user, I imagine I'd have rocks everywhere. So it would be like my default go-to ammunition. So if I accidentally killed someone I didn't mean to, it makes sense that it would be with a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
What do you use for ammunition now?
Mm-hmm.
I get to choose. That's like one of the things.
Does it give you like a list of options, or you just get to
I
make
just
one
get to
up?
do whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Birds.
I have another question I still have to answer, but
Angry bird.
We're playing Angry Birds.
it says one of my powers with this is charged ammo. The ammunition pouch produces anything you might need for your next shot. Choose a special type of ammunition for the next time you use fling, which is the other power, which you can slay a giant with.
Whoa.
But
Lord.
it says it gives me like 2 different effects, so I can have a piercing effect, or I can have a healing effect. So it just kind of depends on what I put into my ammo pouch, I guess.
Okay.
The other question I have to answer is, in order to wield this weapon, you must cast off pieces of yourself and place them in your pouch.
Whoa.
What of you, physical and spiritual, do you sacrifice? I think spiritual would be like any sort of like lingering thoughts of home, because I didn't want to be there anyway. So that would be like a pretty easy thing to like get rid of. Like I'm going on adventures anyway to be away from home. So I think that would be the spiritual one. Physical,
You'd say your heart, because home is where the heart is, or some kind of a saying like that.
I was trying to figure out what bones birds don't have.
I was trying to think of the same thing.
They have a fused collarbone.
That's wild.
That's unhelpful information, but
Wait, is that what the wishbone is?
I have no idea.
probably.
I don't know. These are like really intense questions
Yeah,
to
they are.
ask. It's cool. I really like it. It's just
Maybe it was your eye, so and it kind of ties in with the spirituality thing because you can never perceive your home again,
And then you sling eyeballs.
and then you sling eyeballs.
you.
Anything
Maybe the
that you
fingers
pull out
that
of
you
there.
don't need to use for the sling.
Mm.
And then you sling fingers.
You accidentally grab a finger.
Um,
That would suck.
That's what it said, right? Is that this becomes your ammunition? Did I make that up?
no, it goes
It
into
goes
my
in your pouch.
ammunition pouch. Yeah.
But I am still seeing like just a miniaturized version of whatever goes in there.
That's what I was thinking
like
too.
so a wooden finger or just like I don't know.
Yeah, because I was thinking when she
A
was like
glass
memories of
finger.
home, I was like, oh, if her hometown was famous for like pine nuts,
Mhm.
she shoots pine cones.
That'd be pretty good.
But I think I was just taking the wording
For
too
some reason,
literally.
all I can think of is your nose.
I know that's all I can think of too.
Why? Why is that the instant? Because you can cut it off, you know?
Well, I guess I wouldn't need a nose once I become a bird.
You could cut your hair off and then you shoot little needles.
Oh,
Ooh.
It does not have to be the
It-
ammunition.
yeah, I'm really stuck on that in my head. You could rip off your fingernails and
Oof,
then
no, absolutely
shoot
not.
little like sharp nail darts.
Ooh, no,
That would hurt.
that's yucky.
Yeah, painful though.
Yeah.
Probably.
Your Achilles heel. That's why you can't walk on the ground very well.
Wait, true. And then you shoot heels.
I'm like actually trying to be helpful. Don't listen to him.
I'm trying to be helpful with you. Shooting hair would be sick. That's what I would do if I was you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not gonna shoot hair, but I like the idea of
Some of your
shaving
hair in
my
your pouch?
head. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. You shoot hair now.
No, I don't shoot hair now.
what is next, Sir God?
That's me.
SYR.
Yeah. Then, together, as a hunting party, the knights should answer the following. There are 3 questions. What the order is most known for, and what is their reputation? What does this fortress look like? What are some important features? And what terrible fate befell the order? How will hunting this great beast save it?
That was a lot of questions. I thought there
Yeah.
was 3.
That was 3.
That was
Well,
3
it
questions?
was 3 bullets. I guess some of them were kind of like 2 questions
Yeah.
in the same. One big question.
Okay, what is the order most known for, and what is its reputation?
I think they have a really good reputation, because otherwise, I wouldn't be here. That's like
Yeah, that's fair.
my character's whole thing is that they heard about how great this order is.
Yes. Yeah. I was gonna ask if you mean good by like good natured or good like they're really like good knights, like they're good fighters.
I think goody two shoes is what we're going for here, right?
or just like a
¿Por qué
good
no los dos?
reputation, like amongst others, like
Okay.
oh hey, they're part of Order Sugma. They're Order Sugma is a good
They're real stand-up people.
yeah,
Yeah.
And they're good at fighting.
and
Okay.
they're good at fighting.
But not
Yeah.
anymore.
In my
Damn.
brain, they're like the quintessential
Knight.
knight order.
Okay, I have a pitch, and this is going to answer more than just this one question.
Okay.
What if Order known for hunting and killing beasts, very very well regarded and everything, and it kind of came to a point where I don't know, like a city or like a village like sprung up nearby, kind of for this Order of Knights. Over time, the Order of Knights had like festivities, festivals, things like that, kind of like going more with village morale and things like that, thus like inadvertently shirking in some of their duties of just slaying beasts,
Okay.
thus leading to kind of the fall of the whole thing when we couldn't catch up anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Economic decline.
Yeah.
The worst kind. production stops. Then we can't give monster parts to the merchants anymore, and
Yep.
then the merchants can't feed their families, and then they're like, why are these knights just partying?
And then you realize your whole automation chain is destroyed.
I made some
ruined,
new
and you have
friends. They spent so long last night talking about Factorio, and I was like, "Ain't no way
Yeah.
other people play
You
this
should
game."
redirect them to Damien.
I should.
Did you finally learn and try out the game?
No,
and
not at
realize
all.
that it's-
I told them the same thing I tell you. I'm down to watch you guys play it. Shit, I'm good though.
I don't like the idea that
That we're in decline because we're
because of-
Partiers.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing is it's not like we were knowingly doing all of this shit. It's responsibilities with the village started to come up more and more, and we had to push like a hunt back like a couple days. To then,
Oh,
like, a
because
week.
we were trying to help with
Because
the
we're trying to
village.
help with the village and do some of their like attend to their matters.
Mm.
Ooh, okay. So we were the ruling class over
Probably.
the village.
Oh
Probably.
my god. So let's say we had a castle, right?
Yeah.
And then like we slowly brought in more people from a kingdom
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
into this area otherwise uninhabited. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
We have a flesh bird.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Yep. I'm liking where this is
Yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Misty is our flesh bird.
No,
You have to talk
absolutely
like
not.
this.
No. For those of you who don't know,
which is probably all of you.
Yeah.
this is sort of kind of part of our Kingmaker campaign that we are playing.
Oh.
Oh no,
All
guys!
canonically correct too.
Yeah.
Is this the future of our Kingmaker campaign?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll find out.
So
Fortress Corvus.
yeah. So we became the ruling class
Yep.
essentially.
And then spent too much time ruling and not enough time hunting.
Yeah.
And so then the forests became
Overrun with beasts.
Overrun
and
with
it was
beasts.
too dangerous for us to. We kept on losing a bunch of knights on like every trip out there. Oh my god, like in Moana when everyone started dying.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have a nose.
I was gonna say, if you're open to suggestion, it could have also started infighting as well, because some of the knights could have been like, "Well, I'm here to slay beasts, not to play not to play dad for these villagers."
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And that might also be why some of the hunts got harder, because a fraction of the knights left.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
And so,
Because I would leave, me personally, if
Yeah.
I was a part of that order.
Because I see it as something where it's like it almost becomes like an obligation kind of like thrust upon them, because it's like it's not like they control people building up a new fucking town, but they did. So
Yeah.
now someone's got to protect them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because we have this whole like value of innocence, like villagers that are just villaging, like that's we must protect them, right?
And
Like,
maybe that's like a semi-recent thing, and maybe that caused like a big split, because like some knights are just like monster hunters, right?
yeah.
And other knights, maybe before this village, that was easy to do, right? Every knight could kind of do their own thing, but everyone's down to kill monsters.
Yeah.
But then it was like, we have to protect these people, and the other knights are like, no, the fuck, I don't.
What about your honor?
Yeah.
yeah, literally, yeah, right? Like,
yeah.
Best offense is or best defense is good offense.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then I think too, having these like vaulted weapons. If you guys don't like this, it's totally okay. But I am always excited about stories where it's like there's a potential for this to have been like a curse instead of it just being all of our fault. And so like there's kind of like rumors that have gone around the order that like if we get the beast problem back under control, the curse will be lifted, and instead of like basically placing the blame on something else. And so there's a lot of in this idea there could be a lot of like those who still are in the order, people who genuinely believe that like we're a cursed group, even though really it was just like mismanagement. because it's easier to place blame on something that's like magical.
Yeah. Oh, and that'll be fun for our characters too, based off of like where in that chart we're all leaning.
Yeah.
That might make sense for your character as well, because sticking around to break a curse seems a lot more fun than sticking around to watch an order crumble to the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where we're landing on this question?
Yeah, I think that
Did we
works for
answer
me.
this question? What were you
So-
most known for? Protecting people?
Fighting
monster
and hunting
hunting,
monsters.
and then,
Yeah.
and
And then, so
protecting.
you had a pretty good reputation,
Mhm.
and still do. I guess still, as much as you can. Is
Yeah.
this village dead now? Like in the
It's
nights fucking
in
up?
decline.
Do you guys want it to be in decline
Or
or
should it be
dead?
thriving?
I want it to be like there are like mud farmers still, but that's about it.
Mud farm.
Yeah.
Someone's got to mud the mud.
Like people trying to farm, but they're only getting mud.
That's upsetting.
Yeah,
Nice.
That is not upsetting though.
yeah,
that was a
that was
good
very
one.
pleasing. Yeah.
Yeah. Are we all cool with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Village of Mud
I
unlocked.
see just like buildings overgrown, like both occupied and unoccupied
Mhm.
buildings.
yeah. I'm
Some of the village has been lost to the forest, so you see
Yeah.
buildings with like moss and like overgrown vines starting to creep
Mhm.
into the village.
You know, trying to pull your kid away from there because that house now belongs to the fucking Panthers or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm picturing the villagers from Monty Python, where they're like, "King, I didn't vote for you." They're like down in the mud, like I don't know what they're supposed to be doing. I need to rewatch that movie. But those are the mud farmers I'm picturing right now.
Next question about your backstory, TM comrade. What does the fortress look like? What are some of its important features?
So you mentioned that it would be cool if it was like a castle.
Mhm.
I like that.
Okay.
I was just making a joke about our Pathfinder
Oh,
campaign,
I
but
No,
it can be a castle.
I think
still.
it should be a castle with Damien's order always bringing back stones. Like it can be a very like ornate
Patchwork.
and kind of patchwork, like very colorful, or maybe it was colorful originally, but now it's like overgrown with moss and vines and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and then it can also be like intersprinkled with some like metals and minerals in there too,
Ooh,
based
yeah.
off of what people have brought back up. I don't think it's 100% that,
Yeah.
but maybe like the castle walls around are like regular brick and everything like that, but the keep, or at
okay.
least like
The inner
parts of the keep are like
the inner sanctuary where we kept all these relics.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
yeah.
thoughts, additions.
Prayers. Important features.
I love
Any
building
additional important
the
features?
background.
There don't have to be. I just want to make sure, like, because I know some oaths have like their own things. Like, I don't know if you want like a special high up place for the Sky Knights, or if you
rookery.
want to have like an underground portion for the Stone Knights. Like, I'm just asking if there's any other cool, unique features.
What did you say, Joseph?
a rookery.
I don't know what that means.
This where you keep all the rooks. You ever play chess?
Yeah.
No. I mean, yes, but like,
That's
probably
the
not what it is.
bird keep, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a colony of rooks, which are like crows. Yeah.
right.
Or an aviary.
I didn't know that there was like a place.
Yeah,
for
you
them,
steal it. Now
'cause
it's
usually
cookery.
called an aviary, from what I heard.
Now you're thinking of bees.
So
No, that's an apiary.
aviary is more just broad. A rookery is like there are
Rooks.
only rooks in there.
And that's for like messenger things, right? Or am I
Rooks are
thinking
messenger
something else?
birds. That's sick if that's the case.
Rooks are a gregarious Eurasian crow with black plumage, barefaced, and nest in colonies in treetops.
Right, but rookery.
Yeah, a rookery.
It's where you keep your rooks.
It's where the
Did you
rooks-
look up rookery though? You
Yes.
looked up.
A breeding colony of rooks, typically seen as a collection of nests high in a clump of trees.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we can call it a rookery. I would like that.
A
Just like
rookery?
a tall,
But the Sky Knights are the rooks.
yeah, yeah, just like an up place for Sky Knights.
It's
And I
also
think-
cool
And
because
a
the
blood
rook in
pool for
chess
me.
Mhm.
is a
Just kidding.
castle.
I don't want
Near in the castle.
Yeah, yeah,
We already have the Sanguine
I
Vault,
got it.
which will always
That's why I like it.
ever grow in the amount of blood it has.
Yeah, I mean, after your order falls. But other than that, specific condition probably will forever grow.
Yeah, and
because
it's not like that.
lots of people die.
Yeah. But not everyone adds their blood to the vault, right?
Well, all the Blood Oath people do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
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 All the blood oath people do, but what if we
Sometimes they
also
die.
still have to take a blood oath as part of becoming part of the order? Like you take your
Well, you
oath
spill it
for
on the
your
ground.
knight.
Yeah. Like
But
Joseph
then-
just did
Yeah,
with the knife in his hand.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The
Oh,
so,
actual
like,
knife
some
in
of
his
our
hand,
blood
there's
is
blood
in
now
your
all
blood.
over the
Sanctuary
Sanguine
thing.
Vault.
Yeah,
I actually like that because then it gives me more reason to protect the other knights,
More
even ones
blood
that aren't
for
of
the blood
Yeah.
god.
Blood Oath,
yeah,
because we share the same blood. Except
Ooh,
not you,
true.
because
yeah.
Came in
Not
after.
me.
I'm gonna have like weirdly less dedication to protect.
Would you not have done the blood oath thing?
But I already got my fresh new.
Oh, right.
old
You
blood.
already have your blood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking do it again. You did it one time.
What's the worst that could happen? You could die because you have
Yeah,
no
well,
blood. in
not
your
you.
body.
I'm sure you'll be fine. The last question is, what terrible fate befell the Order? How will hunting this great beast save it?
So we already talked about curse / mismanagement. And I think it's truly like a simple problem, right? Like we fight this great beast
We
and a
blame the
few
curse
other
on it.
well, and for sure, and a few other beasts along the way, and that helps the beast population dwindle again.
And it stimulates the economy
Mm-hmm.
because we are giving these beast parts to the villagers, and they are then able to make crafts and things and then sell them out.
And then we unlock the next tier of gear.
Yeah,
and
suddenly
then-
you have
And
plus
this
one.
time we know to what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we just prestiged.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we know how to handle issues.
No, I
like-
think like it's to curse, right? But in doing that, like if you might not believe in the curse or whatever, bringing back a beast after 5 years would hopefully
big morale boost.
Mm-hmm.
bring back morale, bring back recruits.
Mhm.
Yeah, it'll probably bring back people to the village too, which is both good and bad. But
The cycle
the
starts
cycle
again.
starts again. We've prestiged.
Cool. If everyone is satisfied with these answers, then, with the knights crested and the order established, it's time for the hunt. Woo.
Woo! I'm stoked.
Yeah. I love
This
character
is-
creation.
Yeah, this
This
is such
one's
a
really
game.
cool and it makes you think a lot.
Yeah, I really
Yeah,
like
it was. I was a little worried. I guess rightly so, because when I was reading the questions, I was like, "Man, this might take us a while." Because even on the other games, I was just like,
it sure did.
"Why are you in jail?" Well, like, "Fuck, why am I in jail?" and this time it's like, "Hey, your Order of Knights. What are they about?" And you're like, "Fuck, man."
What
Yeah,
are
even,
we?
even
about?
something as simple as like, oh, you want a sword? What?
Yeah,
what-
but how did you earn this sword?
How'd you
What
earn
price
this
did you
sword?
pay?
Yeah.
You know this shit
What-
can you slice the fabric of reality, right? You got to pay up for that.
Yeah.
What part of your soul did you give away to equip this thing?
Isn't
Tell me your
isn't it
fondest
crazy?
memory.
It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Physical and spiritual goes in the bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put it in
Yeah.
the bag. You'll get it back never.
Yeah. Which like I think is really cool. And obviously like we'll talk about this later after we've actually played, but I think the vagueness of this
Yeah.
lends to the potential for replayability, which is nice. Because you could have a totally different set of knights and their order
Mhm.
every time based off of like
Mm-hmm.
what we did with character creation today, which is really cool. But yeah, it's a lot of like thunking.
Yeah.
It does a lot of like backstory that you make up as a part of
Mhm.
it, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. How's it?
Thanks, Windows.
Yeah. Oh, your battery's running low.
Plug it in.
Plug it in.
Yeah, I tried to do the jingle, but I did it wrong.
Well, before it dies.
Before it dies, you smell like shit.
Later, nerd.
Yeah, we're gonna play it next
Is it
week
not?
on Roleplay Rejects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subscribe to
Hunt.
everything. Follow us on everything.
Sort of.
Monument Studios, baby.
Yeah.
Music.
Music.
Vibes.
Monument FM. You're listening to
No,
Fantasy
no.
No, no,
Plus.
no, 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 no.
It was a meme.
I dropped.
No,
it on the ground.
I appreciated your meme. I just was like, no, it's not called that. Please.
Yeah, that's why I was like,